Antigua and Barbuda pays off its debt to the IMF hours before residents go to the polls. And in sport, West Indies women record a third loss in the 5-match T20 series against New Zealand. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, March 20th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Now, issues of the tram settled, the team turns its attention to the buildings.
You have the buildings that most people see now at Harrison's Cave. That was also another intriguing exercise because the construction part of what people see was challenging in many respects, in that we were setting off on a fairly extensive program. At that point in time, there was a lot of building construction going on in Barbados.
This week on I Love Food.
Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown is preparing to announce a $10 million payment to the International Monetary Fund today. The announcement comes less than 24 hours before residents go to the polls to elect a new government. In an interview on Monday, Brown told ABS Television that instructions have been given to make the payment today.
Notwithstanding all of the naysayers, as I recall, we had a meeting probably within the first 60 days of our administration in which the IMF wanted to roll us over into another IMF program. And I said to them, under no circumstances that my government going back into or taking this country back into an IMF program. At the time, they said I was rude to say so. They said I would live to eat my words. But I'm pleased to say today that I've given instructions that the IMF be paid off in its entirety tomorrow.
Brown is expected to hold a press conference later today. The Haiti government has established a reception center in its embassy in the Bahamas to help nationals access and register personal identification. Speaking on the issue in the House of Assembly on Monday, Minister for Finance and Immigration Brent Simonet said it was a welcomed gesture and would work in tandem with the new immigration policies of the Bahamas. We get more in this report from Keisha Adderley of ZNS Network News.
Roni Jean-Charles became the face of all the immigration questions left unaddressed for decades. But today, Immigration Minister Brent Simonet says steps are being taken to remedy an immigration conundrum of the so-called stateless, with a documentation center at the Haitian Embassy here in Nassau.
The government of Haiti has established this center, which, as it says, is for the reception and delivery of identification documents. It has 21 centers in Haiti. They are going to increase that to 40 centers. And this center is responsible for issuing national ID cards, driver's licenses, and passports. Now, this has become very relevant because a lot of times what happens here in Nassau is the answer is the earthquake in Haiti destroyed our paperwork, or a fire destroyed our paperwork, or it got whatever, the paperwork is not available. So this is a very dynamic shift.
The shift will also mean the government addressing residents left in limbo for years.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar agree that the job of the President of the Twin Island Republic is not for the faint of heart. Speaking to media at a private reception on Monday following the swearing-in ceremony for Paula May Weeks as the country's first female president, Rowley said her gender was not the overriding factor in her employment.
Her Excellency wasn't selected because she was female. She was carefully selected by looking for a person who fits what the country requires and who was willing to do the job. And the country is very fortunate to have someone that are available and willing. Yes, we're all excited about the fact that it's our first female president, but more so I would say that she represents the best of this country.
The opposition leader said President Weeks' inaugural address did not disappoint.
I didn't listen to her today. I have been so impressed. She is brutally frank. She is passionate. She sounds very committed. And above all, she appears to be a person who will put interests of country first. No bipartisanship, that being a female, yes, will bring skills and competencies different. But the job demands far more than just being a woman. It demands that commitment to country, a devotion to duty.
A new beginning that marks the end of the only term Anthony Carmona served as president.
And that report was from Jewel Brown of TV6 News. Stay with us. Your midday sport is next. West Indies women officially lost the T20 International 5-match series against New Zealand women today after a one-run defeat in their third match at Pukekura Park. It was the third consecutive loss for the Caribbean side, which still had to play the remaining T20s on Thursday and next Sunday. Chasing 135 for victory, West Indies needed 5 to win from the last over with 6 wickets in hand. But off-spinner Anna Peterson took 2 wickets and added a run-out on the penultimate ball to add to West Indies' woes. When they needed 3 off the last ball, Marissa Aguilera, who top scored for the Windies with 38, failed to connect to a flat delivery and only managed a leg by. West Indies showed their intent by making captain Stephanie Taylor open along with Hayley Matthews, and they were scoring at more than a runner ball before off-spinner Light Kasparek trapped Taylor LBW for 14. West Indies wobbled further when Kasparek struck again in her next over, and 17-year-old Amelia Kerr had Matthews caught for 14. Deandra Dotton's boundaries and Aguilera's patience put the chase back on track by taking them past 17 the 12th over, but Kasparek had Dotton also stumped in the same over. Aguilera and Keisha Knight scored briskly for the 5th wicket stand and brought the equation down from 60 off 48 balls to 12 from 12. They collected 7 from the penultimate over, but Peterson conceded only 3 in the last over and stole the win. West Indies will visit India for a bilateral series for the first time since the controversial abandoned tour 4 years ago, when they played 2 Test, 5 one-day internationals and a one-off T20 international later this year. But we will tell you more about that at 6:30 this afternoon. So join us for Caribbean in 10. That's for Caribbean Newsline. This is Caribbean in 10. Do have yourselves a good afternoon.